Welcome to the Barreto family. My name is Kayla Barreto, and we are missionaries here in Colombia, South America. We are missionaries in the capital city of Bogota. And so the things that I share with you guys, the perspective that I give you, is from a missionary or a receiving pastor in the capital city of Bogota. So we want to give you guys a little bit of an update on where we're at with Operation Christmas Child, what we have going on, what's coming up. But stick with us till the end because I'm going to share with you some of the things that have either come up this year in boxes, some things that we've seen in boxes, or just some tips because of the boxes we received this year that I just wanted to share with you guys to help you guys make your boxes even better. So far this year, we have given out 131 Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes. We had 2 huge party events with over 60 kids. And we actually had some teens there as well. We gave the teens a different gift. They didn't get the shoeboxes. If you want to see what we gave the teens, check that out. But we had those 2 huge events, and then we had to ask for permission because it was past the dates that they allowed. And we asked for permission to keep the boxes and continue doing events, and they gave us the green light. And so last week, actually, during our prayer meeting, we had 5 kids come that had not received boxes. And so we turned our prayer meeting with the adults. We had the adults stay in one room and took the kids into the other room. And we turned our prayer meeting with those 5 kiddos into a mini Operation Christmas Child event. I was alone. It was just my husband and I. So my husband took the big group and I took the kids group. And so I did not get hardly any photos at all, but I did get one of this sweet little girl. And I wanted to share a story with you guys. So she got this box and loved it. She was so excited. It had like a little My Little Pony stuffed animal in it. But the best thing in her box was a pack of colored pencils. Her colored pencils that she had purchased or she had been gifted, I think she was like subsidized, gifted them by a government program. But unfortunately, the quality of them was horrendous. Here, the school system runs from February to November. And so it's only May. And those colored pencils have already been used up. They're completely gone. She doesn't have colored pencils anymore. And so her family was saving up and waiting so that they could buy her colored pencils. And when she opened that box, one of the things that just lit up her face were those colored pencils in her box. So I guess my tip for you guys with that would be, if you can, instead of breaking up a pack of colored pencils and sending 6 to one kid and 6 to another, if you can send that entire pack of colored pencils, it is going to be such a blessing. But in order for them to use it at school, they need all of those colors. They need the full 12 set of colored pencils. So that would be one item that I would say try not to break up if at all possible, just so that if they get it, they can use that for school purposes as well. I will show you guys, I went to the store earlier this week and colored pencils here are pretty pricey. So as I was taking this video, if you divide the price by about 3,000, you will get the US dollar price. It's a rough change of currency. So the 24,000 pesos are about $8. So they are a pricier school item. Even in the big city of Bogota, like there are options, but they tend to be a little bit more costly than a lot of families can afford or have the ability to get on just a regular everyday basis. All right, so after that little story, so yes, we are still doing Operation Christmas Child boxes. We actually are going to do another event, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see that video for our upcoming event. We're going to do one more, probably a smaller party because I think we only have about 60 some odd boxes, and so it'll be a little bit smaller, but we're going to do that event coming up soon. But let's move on to some of those tips for how you guys can make your boxes even better. One thing I have talked about a lot in the past is sizing. Be cautious of sizing. But what was interesting was this time it wasn't the size of a shirt that came out. It was the size of these cute little sunglasses. So these little sunglasses, if I put them on, you can see they don't even reach the back of my ear. They actually fit my daughter, Eliana, who is about 14 months old, fit her perfectly. But these were in a 10 to 14-year-old box. Now, they are just the play plastic. I mean, it's got just the little lenses. They probably are from a party section. But even so, that's not useful for a 10 to 14-year-old. So this would have been a better item for like a 2 to 4 box. It's super cute, but the 10 to 14-year-old girl that got them, she goes, I mean, they don't fit me. Does Eliana want them? So Eliana received a cute little present from that 10 to 14-year-old. She was actually 14 years old. And so just be aware of sizing, even in something like this. Just think about the age that it's going to and make sure that you are giving things for the biggest size. Another thing that I've talked about in the past would be taking away the packaging that's not necessary. So for instance, something like this, you can obviously take that sharpener out of the package and it's not going to damage the sharpener. It's not going to look any less nice. And so this would be a type of packaging that I would say to take out. Oh, this is just another option of something that you guys could take out of the package that it wouldn't change the value or cause any damage to it. So something you could take out of the package. We did have some people ask questions, what about Barbie? Because I've mentioned that having a name brand Barbie is coveted here. It's something super exciting. Well, one thing you could do, and we've seen this is actually something one of my nephews had, but one thing you could do is send like the packaging with it or this little piece so that they see that it's a Barbie. I mean, obviously this isn't a Barbie. I don't have any Barbies, but you could send that name brand Barbie with it. And so they would see that this was an actual Barbie. Obviously this is an action figure, but you get the idea. You can send a piece of the packaging that shows that it's a name brand and send the actual item with it if that's something that you are interested in. But with that mention of Barbie, this is actually a doll that's similar to a Barbie that we actually got here in Colombia. This is from Colombia, and it's got hollow plastic legs. You can tell the face just is not the same quality of a Barbie. So when the kids get an actual Barbie, they know because of the quality, they know because of those like rubberized legs, they understand that it's a real Barbie. So this one would obviously stand out and they would know that this one was a fake, was not a real one. Would they still love it? Yes. Am I saying not to send this? No. Go ahead and send it, but just know that they're also going to recognize the fact that it's a real Barbie or not. I will say, I was at the store the other day and I'll put a video up here. Barbies here are pricey and there usually are not that many options. So I think there were like 6 or 7 options on the shelves. Again, divide by 3,000. So the Barbies here are roughly $8 to $10 for a basic, just a Barbie without any accessories. So when you guys send something like this, when you guys send a Barbie with its accessories or something fancy like this, it is something that not a whole lot of kids purchase or get to have because it is a more expensive type of toy. So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what they cost here. Again, I live in a big city, so they are available. If your box happens to go to a jungle area or to a more rural area, I would doubt that they would even have a whole lot of options of Barbie anyway, but that's from a big city perspective. Something else that I've mentioned is to make sure that your rulers have inches and centimeters or just centimeters. So a ruler like this wouldn't be super useful to the kids because they need centimeters. In, I would say 90%, and I'm just making up a statistic, but I would say in the majority of the world, inches aren't used. That's usually a United States type thing. They need centimeters. And so a ruler like this, while it's nice to have, it wouldn't necessarily serve them to go to school. So what would be a fun option to include? I mean, you've always got the regular wooden rulers that have inches and centimeters. You could also send them something fancier, I guess I would call it, as like a little plastic ruler. These are just cool to have. Or if you want to get super creative, something like this that they could do the stencils in, that would just be almost a fun toy type item too, but it also has those inches and centimeters on it. I've also seen, and I'll try to find a picture to put in here, those like bendy rulers that are almost like a novelty item there. I will try to find links to some of these options and put a link down below. Remember, if you guys use my links, it doesn't cost you any extra, but we get a little kickback. So feel free to do that. Something else that I would say is to put in a high quality pencil sharpener. As I mentioned in that story before, if the pencil sharpener eats through the pencils because either the pencil sharpener is low quality or the pencils are low quality, then it's not going to serve the kid for as long. So for instance, instead of sending something like this that's not a high quality, I know they're a lot less expensive, but it's not high quality. If you can splurge for it, send something that is a better quality. I think this is a Fiskars, better quality, and even that has the little container to take the shavings. So just a little tip of a preference, my personal opinion, preference would be to put a better quality one instead of the little ones, just because it's going to be more useful and make a bigger difference in terms of how long those pencils last. Another thing that I would say is always take off the price tags when you can. I know some things have the price tags printed on it, like those $1 coloring books. You can't take the $1 off, obviously. But something like this, you could easily take that sales sticker off, that clearance sticker, and then it's going to look like it has more value to the kids. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's not a problem that you buy things on sale. I think that's fantastic, and it saves money, and it allows you to bless more kids or to make a better box, whatever the case may be. But the kids don't need to know that you only paid 50 cents for it, if that makes sense. I don't know. It might just be me, but that was something my parents always taught me when we were giving gifts as a kid, that you always take the price tag off before you wrap a gift. So just something that I guess is a personal opinion, but I would say take off price tags. For instance, this little guy came on a stuffed animal this year. It's a $1.99 price tag for Goodwill. And again, no problem buying it. The little stuffed animal still had its original tag on it and everything. But I would take off the $1.99 price tag, just a personal opinion. Another thing, I know you guys do a lot of sewing kits, and I actually wanted to show you guys, this is my personal little sewing kit. My friend bought this for me in China. She taught in China for a couple years, and this is what I've done. I mean, I've got a few needles and threads, and I've used this for years just as a quick hand sewing kit. And so just a cute little idea. If you guys ever find little tins or little boxes, they can be reused or repurposed for little sewing kits. So I just wanted to throw that idea out because this is my personal one. And then the last thing, we've mentioned in the past, we love to see evangelism items or gospel items in every box. And one thing you could do, the dollar store, we actually picked these up at the dollar store for Eliana when we were in the States. In the past, they've had things like this, and they also have a series, Be Patient, Be Kind, Be Joyful. I don't know if they still have these, but they tend to rotate through and often have little board books that are Bible related. This one was a different series that they had at the dollar store for a while, and then this one was another one. So they've, at least in the past couple of years, this one was in 2019, and this one, the date on it is also 2019, but at least in past years they've had stuff. So check it out. If any of you guys have a dollar store near you, I would love to know if you guys have seen anything like this in the past couple of years. But we found those at least in 2019-ish time. And these would be great items to put in a shoebox. Even though they're in English, they have minimal words on them, and the kids are still going to be able to tell from the pictures what that story is. So just a thought there. So those are just a few tips and tricks. If you guys want to check out another video with tips, go ahead and click over here. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next upcoming party, and we will see you on the next video.